Okay. And let me share this one. Okay. And okay, can you see my lighting presentations now? So everyone's here. Okay. So I would like start with the light and shadows. Okay, just a minute. I would like start with the light and shadows. Also, a little bit go back to the previous centuries and bring some examples from the old masters. And this chiaroscuro, I hope I'm pronouncing well. This came from Caravaggio, and he was a really great painter from the a little almost, I mean, it's end of Renaissance, and this time started the Baroque part. So it's really in the edge, and somewhere we are counting from here that this Baroque style, when the shadows and the lights, it went to even more dramatic. Before that, if you check the images, it was a more smooth way for the old paintings. If you check Leonardo's paintings or the other Renaissance painters, it's a more smooth paintings. And here is really strong light and shadows, because they just figure it out that with the light and shadows you can really lead the eyes. So basically you can really put focus wherever you want. And these few examples just show that how strong these ones. So it's also images from Caravaggio, and if you see these strong shadows here in the wall, this shadow is pointing for these characters, and all the hands is the light how it's playing and shining the different parts of the bodies is helped to showing, pointing for this character. Probably he's the guilty or something, and every other parts, I mean the light in his head, legs, just pointing that direction. And basically you can just, with a piece of brush or pen, you can just connect these shadows and lights, and this makes a really nice circle on the image. So showing here, the light is coming here after there. Here's a little curve, goes down, and after here, this is also pointing here. This goes up, down, up, and basically it's the painter helped to you analyze the whole image. And you know, this is, I mean, yeah, it would be nice to see a bad example next to this image, because sometimes if you know, just watch an image and there is nothing interesting lighting, so maybe it's a lack of contrast, or maybe not balancing the light and the shadow parts. It's simple, you just lost in the image, and it's really hard to, you know, decide where you should see on the image, which part is the focus points, and I'm just feeling alone if there is no any focus point on the image. And at a certain point, I say, oh, that's shit, and I don't care that image. But if you playing with the lights and you take care of the shadow and the light balance, this is a really nice play that how easily you can read this whole image and really quickly look around that this is cool, and yeah, this is really similar than an exterior visualization. The other great master, Rembrandt, of course, he's more famous from his portraits. Here there is no that much play, I mean, play with compositions, but it's more about the balance of the bright parts and the shadow parts. So you can see the highlights is not so strong everywhere. So there are certain points. And if you check these images in small scale or just simply you blur your vision, it's really balancing. So if the right one would be more brighter parts, probably it would be too much. So this is the right amount of dark and bright. And also really good habit if you collect your images, maybe from the first time when you starting to working in. We will use Miro board. You will see it's really cool stuff. And there you can check your images in small scale. And this is really important to check your images in thumbnail size, because if it's working with in thumbnail size, probably it will working in the full size as well. But if it's in small scale, it's lost. And again, if you just see the Rembrandt image, it's small, you blur your vision, this is balancing. And also if you check your image, and maybe if your image in small scale just lost, maybe sometimes I make my image really small and simple, the building is disappear. Or simple just the whole image is went to some dark spots. That means that probably the lighting is not good on the image. So you need to recognize also in thumbnail the building and the different parts. And that's why it's a good example, Rembrandt, because in really small scale, you can recognize the portrait and the balanced image. This is a kind of good, also a good image to show how important these contrast, because basically contrast in value is easy for the eyes to see. So that's the reason. It's the contrast just naturally really easy for the eyes. If you, I also just realized in the past weeks that my, when a child is born, his or her eyes is not so trained. Basically, they are almost, not blind, but not see too much. They are usually looking for contrast because everything's blurry and not so colorful. And this contrast, it's coming from when we are born. So also a few weeks child is looking for the contrast. If you show her, she or he, a contrast image, just really started to watching. But if you show a not so contrast image, it just really don't take care. It's really funny. But the contrast is when you are born is really important. And this is also when you see an image. The first thing what I'm saying that it's a little bit lack of contrast. Maybe put some levels. It gives some stronger shadows, and this is sometimes missing from the visualizations as well. Especially the raw renders is not so strong the contrast, and this is the biological reason why it's important, because it's a natural habit basically to looking for the contrast. What is a good lighting setup? It's simple, of course. And let's check the guidelines. We have a key light. Let's say this is the most intense. We can say this key light is the sun, the HDRI. The strong contrast is the focus points. So we can add the focus with these contrast. Artificial lights. Usually, you can add the interesting colors. Also mostly in interiors, but in exteriors also you can play with artificial light, and you can add interesting colors. Bounce and ring lights. This is shape objects with light, which means that maybe your building or your character is not it has not enough contrast or a little bit just, you know, fading with the background, you can simply use, let's say, fake lights to a little bit emphasize maybe even just a brush or a character or the building. Yeah, and the tricks, I will just show some really easy trick for these shadow planes. So I just found on the internet this really cool breakdown for lighting, and this is also could be fit for any kind of shot. So basically, if you want to break down a light setup, we have a environment sky, and the environment sky itself doing this lighting for the image. If we turn off everything else, we have just the sun. So this is the key light basically, because this gives the most intense lighting on the scene. Bounce floor light. So this is which is coming from the sun, hit the floor and bouncing back. So we can also counting with these lights. Bouncing table, which is just hit back from the table, and all of these bounce light could be helped by additional lights as well. So if you want to make it a stronger bounce light, you can just put in other lights there. But we will see an example for this kick light. This is how you can shape the objects better. For example, the shoulders, the head. It just helps to read better the different shapes. Windows, just nothing special. Some really small bounce light from the top. And this is the beauty. So if you count all of the lights, this is how it looks like a beauty shot. But this is a cool breakdown to see what kind of different lights we have, and we can take care differently each of these lights. Magic, yeah. So, yeah, okay. So this is also really simple scene, let's say. So the sun impacts the floor with a distant light, which means maybe with the sun. And this creates a really dark room. So there is no enough light, let's say. So this is why it's good if you just simple place a V-ray plane light or Corona plane light, that really does not matter. So just helping to bounce in more light. And this is not a big cheating, let's say, because basically you just emphasize a little bit the light for the scene. And this give you some really nice bounce light, because in the render it's not 100% working well, these lights. And this is with the helper lights, the scene, so it's much more bright, and we can use it absolutely in the images. So feel free to help different parts of the image where you need more light. Just simply put another plane light and fake it a little bit there, because otherwise it will be too dark. And this small trick, what I mentioned, that if you have a aerial image and maybe there is no exact focus point, you can just simply create two shadow planes. It could be just a simple sphere or anything, and you can just play with these cloud shadows, and you can balancing the light and the shadow much better. And this is a really simple trick. Honestly, since in V-Ray 6 and Corona 9, it has this cloud feature, is not that much exist. So we can play with these shadows as well. I mean, this is really cool. Guys, have you ever used this new feature? No. It's really cool. So there is a option for these clouds generation or something. This is really new, and basically you can create this kind of effect. However, it's not that much, flexible, because here, if you do these plane lights, we can position wherever we want, but the generated one is a little bit more tricky, so that you can play with numbers and seeds, offset, but you can create something similar results. That's pretty cool. And yeah, it's also good that if you are thinking like a movie director, let's check this scene. So maybe if you watch this movie in the television or in the cinema, you see a really simple lighting that is coming from the windows, but if you check what's happening behind the scene, it's a lot of helper things. So extra lights, extra photo elements. So not only just a natural light. So it's also a lot of work to create a simple scene. And this is also what we are doing. So it's okay if you set your HDRI, but probably you need to a little bit add some extra lights as well if it's needed. Of course, not every time, but feel free to play with shadow planes or extra lights and stuff like that. This is also a really cool shot, coming to life from the back, but it needs a lot of, shadow plane, need a lot of extra helper things for the lighting to be really cool, because otherwise it will be too dark parts, too much lights here. And this is what we need to do as well in the images. So if something is too bright, we need to figure it out how we can maybe block a little bit here and there, or add a little bit here and there. And sometimes easier to play with these kind of planes than just simple, struggling with a HDRI and try to just fit only with that one. Yeah, and the thing should be made as simple as possible, but not only simple for the end of these presentations. Yeah, it was a quick lighting presentation, guys, that you can a little bit, thinking out of the box when you are writing the image. So it's not only just set something, sun or some HDRI dust image, it's a little bit more than just simple set any kind of light. So, guys, do you have any questions for the lighting part? Okay, if not, I have some examples for also for the lighting, but I guess it's not here. Let me just find it. Just a second. Yeah, also, guys, István told me that I wouldn't, or maybe not all of you was in the technical test. I maybe just missed to show where you can find these drives link. So let me just copy, and yes, Control-C, and I just go to the chat folder, and let me also, here, chat, and place it here. Yeah, so here, if you open this one, you will see, let me just close this. Come on. So you can see this one. And here the course material, and here you will find the stuff, what we will use it. So also the presentations you can reach, and oops, not this one. Our participants also will be here, but István will be fill up this part but here you can find things. Yeah, I think lights. Okay, but we will.
May I ask, the presentation that you show, will you upload it on the?
Yeah, exactly. It will be uploaded to the drive as well.
Yeah.
I will just ask István again that it should be uploaded, but it will be. You can reach definitely. If it's not here, that's not a problem because it will be here. So.
Okay, so will be on the presentation folder.
Yeah. If something changed or not, will be not here. I will just check it later. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, but I have another one. Just let me find because it's not saved here. Yeah, because previously this hybrid course was fully online, and I did this from home. So this in the office. It's a little bit mixed now. Where are the stuffs? So I just quickly want to find these courses. Just give me a second. This one. I think yes, here will be. Yeah. And this one. Oh, come on. This one. Actually. Yeah, lighting scenarios in visualization. Just I would like to run through of these ones. Day. So what the important part on a day shot. So if you check these photographs, the key elements here, the contrast definitely. So play with the light and shadow part. And maybe if you need to mention one other thing, the glass reflection and the sky color should be matched. This is the most common issues in exteriors. If we talk about day shot, that somehow still the engine is not correctly rendering the glasses. Sometimes yes, but sometimes it's not so correct. So usually in Photoshop, we fix these colors to be matched. And again, if you blur your vision, this is really nice. The dark, bright part, again, dark part. So it's really balanced. This is important that it has a really cool contrast. So this is the key of a day image, that it should be really nice contrast. Also, if you see the first one, the glass part in color-wise is matching. Of course, it's a bit darker because it has a tint of it, but the contrast is really strong in a really good way. So also in the trees and on the facade, and also here in the left thumb. Here also really nice shadow parts, bright parts, just a good amount. So all of these three images is a really good reference for a day shot. Magic Hour. This is first time, it looks easier to set a Magic Hour scenario or light setup, but there are many different aspects, but you need to keep in mind. So gradient light on glass. So when the interior light is met with the environment light. So you can see that this effect, it's really nice if you can reach it. So not completely lighten up all the windows, maybe like, let me just draw in here a bit. So here and here, of course, definitely good if we have some strong interior lights, but what we have here, this is really nice. So this gradient, or this is in the very deep part of the interior. There is a light source somewhere in the room, and it's just fading the light out, and from the warm it goes to this more gold, bluish cyanide tint. And also, if you check, for example, this part here in the third image, this is also from the deeper part of the interior. It's coming the light and just goes out, and with a nice gradient, it just turns to blue. And this is what usually it's hard to reach. Sometimes you need some extra, Photoshop touches on the image. Even better if you can reach this effect in 3D. So when you have a room, let's say from maybe top view, we have a room, and maybe here is the glass facade in the front, and here is the camera. Try to position the light every time closer to the back part of the building. In this case, it will be spread the lights that part, and probably you will have the effect for this nice gradient. But if you put the lights in the middle of the room and it's lighting the whole room, it will be just a huge bloom in the building interior, and you will lose this really nice effect. And this is important because otherwise, if we wouldn't have these cold, nice gradients, all of the lights would be this strong. It's too much, so it's not balancing that nicely. These point lights also really, really cool. So try to use these ones as a reference when you're working on dusk image. These are really cool stuff. Okay, let's clear this one. Here again, the gradient interior lights came from the back part and also creates this really nice gradient. So it's the same story. And usually when you're working on dusk image or night shots, try to build the lights from the bottom till the top. So maybe the more lights on the entrance lobby part, and if you go upper and upper, just put less and less light, and it just goes to blue. And this is also a really nice effect on dusk images. If you have character or any kind of object, it looks like a silhouette. So basically, the key when you put characters on a dusk exterior shots, it shouldn't be too detailed. And if your light is correct, in the correct position in the back part, basically all of the objects will be just a silhouette. And this is give you a really nice, easy contrast. And if you would put the lights top of this character, probably it will be lit up too much, and you would have too many details, which would just make some noise on the image. But this is really nice if you just create some silhouettes on the interiors. Fog images, kind of easy to reach, let's say, strong air perspective, which means less and less details in the background. And this is a good example. For example, let's check with this second one. So we need to imagine this air perspective that we can break down the image several parts. So we have these building here. This is the absolutely in the sharpness. Maybe this is the first one. And we can imagine this one as a card. So here is a card. This is the closest part for the camera. This is the one. The second one is somewhere, I think somewhere here, maybe this one. this. And this part is the second part from the camera, and this is go behind this one, and it's again get some air perspective, and maybe we have a third, maybe somewhere this one is just a small part. This is goes behind this one. Third, and the whole background with the sky is the fourth, and this is in the last one. And basically, from the second one, each and every get a color from the sky, and less and less details will appear on these cards. And the cool thing that every time is working the same, this air perspective. So the detailness and the sharpness, the shadows couldn't appear on the second board. And these details, which is much more less than the first one, couldn't appear here because it's much less and less. And this will give you this foggy atmosphere feeling. And this is working the same here. So we have a first board, we have a second and a third. And basically here as well, maybe here we can put that this is one in the road. Maybe, even you can create 5, 6 different boards, depends on what is the distance of your project. And maybe here, maybe those one, another one, and the sky. And maybe this 3, basically the first. And the cool thing that V-Ray or Corona do the job for this, because if you set the area perspective or in Corona in the sky properties, it's working the same. So depends on the camera distance, it will give you this fog effect on it. But we will check it in the next how it's working. Also, when you have a tutorial for Photoshop, how you can reach it, but we will check that for another day. Yeah, that one for the fog tutorial and these lights, and I think, yeah, I think that's all. So I guess we can, or I can open the Max. Is it opened? Maybe not. And this is 22. Okay. And we can check this area perspective, how it's working. Guys, I think you are already used it, probably. Are you working with Corona or V-Ray, or what is the workflow? V-Ray. V-Ray.
V-Ray too.
Okay.
Corona.
Okay. So Corona, so mostly 50-50. I'm also working with Corona at home. So here we will working with V-Ray. I will show it in V-Ray, but that's fine. It's almost the same. So so I think we can merge the rest of the tutorials together, and because I will talk with atmosphere, light mix, and tools scene manager, and I think I just come on, just couldn't manage to put here. Yeah. So, and I guess I can do it through the draft to show these things. Get started. Okay, just it's not mine setup, so maybe I'm a little bit slower to find the stuff. And let me check that I have, I guess now, the Tools Imager. Have you ever used, guys? Do you familiar with it? With this?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, that's fine. We will show some of the. Oh, just I need to sign in. Okay, guys, maybe I recommend to take a quick break. I will just get the email and the password and write. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you open the Pulse SM Manager on 3D Max?
If you download it and
Yes, I have downloaded and installed it, but I don't see any icon.
Just right click here, for example, customize.
Yeah.
And it's another screen. Just a second. And simply go to the toolbar. I think that's the best, and go to tools. Should be somewhere here. Yeah, it's here. And the best if you just drag somewhere in the toolbar, and it will be here after it. It's also cool if before this you just go to the toolbars and create your own. So maybe I just create a.
Yes, I have my own.
Oh yeah, if you have own, is the best. So yeah, and just put there, and you can open from any time after it. If you haven't downloaded, guys, yet, you can just simple go and I can go to the pool site, and you can download it from here. So choose the IO and just register your email that you're using also in the course. And there's a free trial, 30 days, but after the course, you will get, I think, a 6 months extra trial. So you can use it after it as well. So I just also copy this one to the chat folder, and you can find it here. Today, I will just show it. So mostly you will use it from tomorrow, but it's good if you download it and also install it maybe after today or after this day. Yeah. Okay. So I just gonna to find this one, logged in, and we can continue in 10 minutes. Okay, cool. Just stop my sharing and see you in 10 minutes.